Welcome back. We are here with a very quick review of the lists that will come into Clash of Kings 2025 UK tournament, the biggest tournament in the world. More than 200 players. I think it's like 202 lists. We are not reviewing them all. That's stupid. So we're just going to pick the ones that won last year, and some other random ones such as the Singaporean contingent and anyone else that I think and others think they're interesting. And so I'm joined by Dan and Yan, who were from our previous discussion, and adding to this cohort we have Matt Truella. So Matt, why are you qualified to give any opinions whatsoever? I mean, not that any of us are, but why are you in such illustrious company?
Yeah. I mean, look at us. If you go back to last episode from you guys, I'm the other one from the office that you and Dan were
Yeah, true,
talking
true.
about. So, we've been in it for a bit. Keen to play. I've made it to
With
the
a kid.
Australian Masters.
Yeah, you've been to Masters. That's more than most of us.
Yeah.
Dan's going to Masters.
You won Convict last year.
I won Convict last year by the absolute skin of my teeth, but still got there.
Yeah, hobby scores, good for something.
Yeah, with the Kings of War equivalent of The Office. So there you go.
All right, well, we might as well just get right into it and start from the top. And I think, we got to say that this is Clash of Kings. There's no command dice, no withdraw, and obviously no allies. I don't think allies have been in tournaments for a long time. But there won't be any kind of command upgrade. So we don't have to worry about if factions got better command orders than others. So it's just as we see it on the paper. I guess I'll read out this first one, and then if you guys can see it. But I mean, I'm the one that can control this. I can scroll, so it might be a real hassle otherwise. So, and let's get into it. We got the previous Clash of Kings winner, Daniel Wolfgang Wright, who came first last year with a nice list of dwarves that really weren't packing any of the typical stuff I would have thought that, dwarf power gamers like to use, like your defense 6 stuff or the formation. Like that's when I think dwarf hard lists, I think of all those things. I don't think of Ironclad, which is why I didn't rate it, but clearly it has the tactical chops to move around and play. But we're not rating old lists. We're doing this one. So 2,300 points of herd. We have a regiment of tribal warriors, 3 troops of harpies, 2 hordes of guardian brutes, one with a brew of sharpness, one of brew of haste. Then we have Scorchwings, of course, a nice horde of them. Minotaur chariots with the Stampede upgrade and Blessing of the Gods. That's a very efficient use of the Blessing of the Gods right there. 2 Beasts of Nature with typical upgrades of wings and increased attacks. Great Chieftain with also the typical upgrades of the Horn of the Great Migration, that Wild Charge aura, Wings of Honey Maze, and a Sabertooth Hunting Cat. Whoa, what does the Sabertooth Hunting Cat do, Yan? Do you recall?
It gives duelist, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah, that's right. Duelist.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Duelist. Oh, I mean, why not? Triple attacks is pretty good. And a Druid, just for Lightning Bolt 2. Just a little bit of shooting. So, and the Scorchwings, it's an interesting list. Yan is our resident. Oh, no, you're right. One more. What?
That's kind of important. The Wildfather, yeah.
The Wildfather, yeah, he's a little bit important. Yeah, with his.
I thought that list was a bit light without the.
Why didn't it go down there? Surely there's enough room. Well, anyway, it dropped off the page. Yes, the Wildfather. Okay. So, what do you think of this? Being a bit more of an expert in Herd specifically,
quote unquote expert. Look, I think it's an interesting list. There are elements of this list that I would definitely take in my list that I guess I rate. Mainly, the harpies. I think they're almost mandatory inclusions for a herd list. I think you need at least 2. I think he's got 3, which is, fantastic. They're great objective scorers, chaff to get in the way to deliver those hammers. So I think there's some elements in there that are really great. I'm not sure about the Guardian Brutes personally, just for me. I'm sure Daniel being an ex-winner of Clash of Kings 2025, I've always been a big proponent of that Kings is a game that is won on the table and not really in the list building phase.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I think if he knows how to play this list, I'm sure he'll do well. But I find Guardian Brutes quite squishy at defense 4, 15, 17. They do have fury, but so they're good on the counter charge, but getting them into combat can be quite tricky because they're only speed 6. And he's sort of tooled them to the 9s, at 270 points and 245 points. One is speed 7, which is helpful. And one has brutal sharpness, right? So that one will definitely hit. So yeah, I've always been a bit unsure because 30 attacks on 4s. I used to play the Stampede when it used to be the old Stampede before the Minotaur Chariots, and they had 30 attacks, melee 4, thunder 3, crushing 1, I think it was. And sometimes I will go in and still do like 6 wounds because the 4s whiffed and then I roll a bunch of 1s. Yeah, so they look scary, but I do find it hard to deliver them into combat because of the speed 6. Yeah, but that's sort of just me. I do like the Minotaur Chariots in there. In my opinion, for her to work well, just the way I play, I think you need to shore up some of the weaknesses. So I tend to kind of go with stuff that hits on 3s. So I tend to go Minotaur Chariots. I do Spirit Walkers, and then I'll take stuff like Tree Herders as he has defense 6, and some other things with like a bit more defense 5 stats of the Minotaur Chariots piece of nature. But I think overall it's a nice balanced list. With a bit of everything. But that's my broad sort of thoughts, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, defense 4 hammers is always trickier to use, and when they've got height 3, it's hard to hide them as well.
I think in the right matchup, this could do very well. Like, it's super aggressive. You'll want to be on combat, turn 2 or 3. It's not something that can sort of withstand a lot of shooting for any amount of time. There's no way of getting wounds back. You're gonna really have to push across the table as fast as possible, and it could work very well. It's definitely got all the chaff to allow all the hammers to strike at the right points, at the right places. It's pretty scary to me, actually.
It's fast. There's a lot of speed 10 there.
And that Horn of the Great Migration, that can catch people out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you put that near the Minotaur Chariots. They've got the Wild Charge D3 on top of speed 7. They can get pretty fast.
Well, it's more the beasts of nature I find that a problem. Suddenly, if that the Horn of the Great Migration guy moves closer to a beast of nature, and suddenly that's charging 21. That's caught me out at least twice, and that can be the game over. And very early on if you're not careful.
And that chieftain's got the wings too, so he can go 20 across the table to hit whichever beast you're not expecting. Boom.
Yep. Bensum here plays lists similar to this, and he uses them to great effect. And if I see that horn, I'm like super on edge as to where that guy's going to go.
Well, do we reckon that this is a bit more matchup? Obviously, he's going to play it well, but it may be a bit more of a matchup dependent kind of. Which, I mean, it always comes down to luck. 200 people. You just got to hope that you hit some of the armies that don't directly counter what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's an army. Sorry, you go. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I think if he can protect the brutes going in relatively unscathed, then I think he'll sort of do well because he's got enough things to sort of get in the way. Beasts of nature. He's got the Wilt Father to sort of shove up and get in the way as well. The harpies, but. I don't know. I don't see Herd as a very strong scenario army as well. And I think that's also the big problem. So, you have scenarios where, I can't remember what the names are, but the ones where you now have to sit on the token and generate it in the middle.
The stockpile?
Hold the line.
Stockpile, hold the line. Those, even the ones like the bluff token ones. So I don't know what scenarios they're running, but the army doesn't want to spread out. It doesn't want to have units that are left behind, babysitting objectives. It kind of wants to work together and smash forward, and then try and take out the points later. So if he can sort of do that, I think he'll do well. But I don't know. I feel like Herd is not as well equipped as other armies to do the scenario game. But I wouldn't say I'm the best Herd player there is. So there'll be other people who could probably make it work.
But you're one of the few Herd players in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Dan?
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's Jan pretty much stole my thunder in saying exactly what I was about to say. In that, if with an army like this, you've got a lot of things that are wanting to be hammers, and if you've just got a whole lot of tokens that you want to sit on, then you don't have a lot of units that can really do that. Your harpies are going to be dead pretty quick, acting as chaff. And apart from the tribal warriors and maybe the Wiltfather, you've got a whole lot of things that just need to be in combat, and they cannot then be sitting on tokens unless you have pretty much won at the end, and you've got your beasts of nature just quickly flying off to sit on one. If you haven't killed most of their army very quickly, this could struggle to get on the right objectives at the right time.
Yeah, and loot tokens would be not many things want to actually carry loot tokens in this army.
Apart from the Wiltfather, no.
Yeah, the Wolffather, but he can only carry one and score with the current FAQ, right? So
Yes,
he can carry one. The tribal warriors can carry up to 3, but how long they can carry them before they get killed, I don't know. 13, 15. But... All right, well, let's keep going because if we spend half an hour on the first one and then rush through the last, everyone will feel a bit hard done by. So, I should probably add the caveat that if your list isn't here, it's not because it wasn't good. It's just, I couldn't read them all. So you might have a really exciting list, and we just won't get to it. But we'll keep going down the ranking from last year. Coming in second was Florence, with the Empire of Dust this time. No Sylvan and oh my, oh boy, we got
this one was
what's
one
that?
of my
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 regiments of skeleton spearmen, 2 hordes of skeleton spearmen. So that's the skeleton spearmen done. So keep that in mind. 2 regiments of mummies, and all of them have Casket of the Damned. That's for scout, isn't it? That gives them
two hordes of revenants with scout as well.
Yeah, 2 hordes of revenants, 2-handed weapons on one, fire oil on the other, and then soul snare and an army standard bearer, and chopped off at the bottom again, Cursed High Priest with Surge 8, Drain Life 6 with the Edge Periscope, and Cursed High Priest on Royal Chariot with Drain Life and Surge. So yeah, lots of Drain Life in this list, lots of Surge. But no Monolith for Surge. So, well, I mean, again, we have our resident, it just so happens, Empire of Dust player, also Yan. But well, what do we think? Gee, it's a lot of nerve.
41 nerve. Wow.
Yeah. It's a cool list. Bit spammy, but seems to be the game a little bit. The spammy trend if you want to sort of do well. But I feel like a big missed opportunity is upgrading the chariot to Raz to give the special ability that gives skeletons melee 3. And maybe like a loot on the he's got a standard bearer, doesn't he? Is that what he does?
Yes, there's a standard bearer. What does that have? Strider for skeleton. Well, there you go. That's helpful.
Skeleton infantry.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, skeleton infantry. So I feel like it's a sneaky Raz melee 3 on a spear unit. 30 attacks on 3s with crushing 1, could really, do a lot in the right circumstance, because otherwise she doesn't have a lot of crushing, right? Is that she's got two-handed weapons on the revenants,
and the mummies,
and the
mummies, yeah. So it's a lot of rubbish. There's a lot of rubbish that you have to get through. But she doesn't have a lot to sort of hit back necessarily. Don't know. I think it's an interesting list, and I think she will swarm the board with all the scouting infantry. I think it'd be really good for scenario, like but yeah, as we mentioned, push. Oh, can you imagine playing push with this army? Everything's scouts up. Hold the line. The token generating one. Heaps of scenario opportunity in this list, and you just have to get through all the rubbish, before you.
Yeah, I mean, how many drops?
Do anything?
16 drops, and none of them are really like I can take that off really easy. Because you got Phalanx Spearmen.
Of the last list.
Yeah.
Right? It's all scenario with basically no killing power.
Yeah.
I mean, your hordes roll a lot of dice, but like you said, hitting on 4s or fives.
Fives.
Yeah, I mean, I can see when you're running this list, there'll be times where you're just like, I don't want to roll them. I'm not going to charge, or I don't want to roll that many 5+ attacks. It won't do anything, so I'll just save my clock. That might come up. But yeah, so yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, it's still got the soul snare that'll kind of help tilt combats, but I mean, you can't use it everywhere. It would be difficult to push through, but yeah, and 41 unit strength.
And
Nice.
what's that scenario with the two circles? Is it Rack and Ruin or
Rack
something
and
like that?
Ruin, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Rack and Ruin. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
can you
one.
imagine playing that with this list? Oh, you just shove up 50%
Yeah.
army in one circle, shove up
20
the other
unit strength.
50%
20 unit
in the
strength.
other, and just say chew through that in turn 2, basically. Like,
Well, yeah, and then they just hold it for 2 turns, and then they've already got that, uncompetable lead. Because yeah, that's how Rack and Ruin works. You get to like turn 5, you still hold it, done. You've clinched it. You don't have to worry about whatever. You could get wiped out in turn 6, and you wouldn't care. Not that anyone could wipe this out in a single turn. It's yeah, I think
I
some
feel
lists.
like she's missed one small opportunity. Maybe there was just no points, but this is exactly the kind of army where I would choose just one unit to have the crystal pendant.
I mean, that's a lot of points, but that would be
It
fun.
is, but like
Yeah.
they're going to have to kill a whole lot of stuff, and you can have just one unit out there that they don't want to kill, but they kind of have to kill. Yeah, I would have tried to find points somewhere to get that on.
All right, so all this list needs is a Crystal Pendant of Retribution and Raz the Undying, and then it's perfect. So if we're paying 2,500 points, then how much is Raz?
is it extra, like extra 50 points or something like that?
Well, because
He's like a
she's
2
got,
of.
she's got a High Priest on Royal Chariot, not a
Ah,
Pharaoh.
sorry, not a pharaoh. My bad.
No,
I thought it
no.
was a pharaoh.
So yeah, bit different.
Yeah, because the Pharaoh is what 170 on a chariot. Maybe that's just a bit expensive for her.
Yeah, you'd have to lose all those caskets. It's a lot of caskets.
Yeah, or just lose a regiment of skeletons.
Just drop the mummies.
Not the
Just commit to not killing anything. No
Five.
mummies.
5 regiments of spearmen is still pretty good.
Yeah,
6, I think.
5, 6. It's a rounding error. I guess this is, as far as spam lists go, this would be at least one that would be easy to hobby up compared to, some of the other army lists, because it's, skeletons, it's mostly just one kind of color and then a little bit of the armor and stuff. So
Yep, skeleton horde just over everything.
yeah, exactly. This is the contrast paint.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the second. Third was Chris Lynch. That's the name we've heard here as well, with Northern Alliance. And I'll go from the top. We've got Human Tribesman Horde, upgraded with the Tundra Fighters and Chalice of Wrath. 3 hordes of Ice Elementals. One of them has the Fire Oil. Then we have 2 regiments of Frostclaw Riders, upgraded with Ice Bombs, and 1 horde of Frostclaw Riders with Ice Bombs and the Helm of the Drunken Ram for that extra Thunderous. So they're Thunderous 3. Gosh. 3 regiments of Snow Foxes, good old chaff. We've got Ice Queen, which has got Surge 5, Bane Chant 2, and Alchemist Curse. Serakina, who comes with her own Surge and Wind Blast. And then 2 Snow Troll Primes, and anything at the bottom? No, I didn't miss it this time. So there's the list. Interesting. 3 Ice Elemental Hordes. Frostclaw Riders. Equal parts fast, some shooty, big horde, Human Tribesmen. I mean, it's quite mixed arms, I would say.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, right? Like,
yeah, it's very good.
You can shoot, you can fight, you've got enough spells to. I mean, the Ice Queen's a little bit expensive with Surge, Bane Chant, and Alchemist Curse. But, I mean, you drop Alchemist Curse, you don't really get too much extra in terms of points. You don't fit in another unit. Maybe you get one better item to.
Yeah, 35 points is a cool item, but I don't know what you'd give it to. I know it's everything. Your opponent will be frozen a lot. There'll be a lot of frozen going around, which means that Tundra Fighters will be working. No, Blizzard, but Blizzard's not that great. No, I think it's a pretty solid list. Nothing too egregious.
How many primes does he have? Just two?
Just
Just
two, you know.
Yeah, one
Mm.
shy of the prerequisite 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's a good list. I think it's actually very similar to Luke Schaefer's list that I played at BrizCon, actually, because
Mm.
he had the Ice Elementals, he had the Ravens, he had the Ice Queens, he had the Primes. I think the only difference was the Human Tribesmen, whatever,
Mm.
board. But yeah, look, I don't really know Northern Lions too well myself, but looks pretty solid to me. Like, you've got your ice elementals to stand off and sit there and shoot, and they're pretty scary once they're in range, with that many sort of piercing shots.
Yeah, and you got
Then
snow
you got
foxes to get in the way
yeah,
so
you
that they
got
can get delivered.
snow foxes. Yeah, you've got the Frostclaw riders to sort of sit back and kind of charge whatever sort of hits the ice elementals.
You've got
You've
enough
got the
surge.
Mm.
Like it's
Two
not a whole
surges.
lot, but it's enough.
Yeah, it's if you've got that 1 inch that you can do it. I wouldn't try and do anything too long, but yeah, you got surged. What is it, 13 in total? Although
Yeah.
these two will be spread out, and I mean Radiance of life for the ice elementals, so that's also good. It'll be pretty hard to take all this down, and you're getting shot the whole time because it's enough shooting. Have to put the pressure on. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. We're not experts in Northern Alliance, so I guess it should do well. It hasn't got any major weaknesses. All right, let's go on to
That's very good.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't have chosen Alchemist Curse myself. Usually I would try to get that on a flying mage of some kind or on a steed. Because otherwise it's kind of hard to get into exactly the right spot in order to, take out that defense 6 unit that's really a thorn in your side. But
yeah,
The Ice
maybe
Queens. Yeah, the Ice Queens roll damage on their Wind Blast, right? Or is that just Serikina?
might be if that's
I don't
Master
know.
of Ice. I don't know if Master of Ice is
Master of Ice is elite, I think, on Frostbound.
when like casting Surge or something, or Bane Chant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not elite, but Conjurer's Staff. You cast one of them. Or reroll one.
Okay, one reroll. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry, it is Serikina that's got the Frozen Winds is the
Oh yeah.
roll to hit, roll to damage once you've hit with Wind Blast. So the extra item on Ice Queen probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the Alchemist Curse, I don't know if this Ice Queen will be ranging out ahead of the Force to do that until later in the game when the lines are all together. That's when I think. But then
It's probably just a tag team with extra shots with the Ice Elementals, really, because they're all 12 inches. So she sits with them and just adds an extra, on average, probably most things that defense 5, defense 5, so seven dice on 4s and then 2s, So
no 3-4 damage.
3-4 wounds, really. Yeah, so it'll help in the shooting game.
Yeah.
It's interesting seeing a Northern Alliance list without any pack hunters.
Yeah, true. They are the very popular choice.
They took a nerf, didn't they?
They did, but I didn't think enough to really
It was just points, right? They just went
disqualify them really from really, really competitive lists. I thought they were still quite good. They're what now, 145 instead of 135 for a regiment?
Yeah.
You still get 12 shots hitting on 4s, 24-inch range, and you've got your Thunder 1 still. Oh, that's still very good, but obviously doesn't fit in this style.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see a bit of variety, I suppose.
Yeah. Just haven't seen a Northern Alliance list without pack hunters for a long time.
Yeah, it's just apart from the Frost Crawl Riders are probably doing the job better anyway with their ice bombs. And so maybe it's too much to have both. Anyway.
That horde of Frostclaw Riders, I would be very nervous about taking a 14-16 defense 4 unit that's that expensive. It's pretty risky to me.
Yeah, I've taken them down and felt pretty good because I'm just like, yeah, there goes a whole like chunk of your army.
Yeah.
but I'm sure they're going to use it better than I would.
No, yeah, same. He's a very good player.
All right, let's go on to who went fourth last year. Antonio Perez. It's one of the Spanish players, I imagine, running undead this time. Well, okay. We got some interesting stuff. We have 2 hordes of revenants, a horde of werewolves with a staying stone, so they don't waver so much. Revenant
Oh,
cavalry.
I feel like I haven't seen werewolves in
Oh
a
yeah.
long time. I feel like we haven't seen undead in a long time for some reason, at least in
Uh,
Australia.
Andy Whitehead plays it a lot, and he takes werewolves.
Well, he hasn't played his undead in a while, right? Like he's been his
Last time I played him.
night stalkers and things
He
like
has
that.
been doing a lot of
Oh,
Night
yeah.
Stalkers, but
He
yeah,
has, but last time I played him, he did play undead, and he did take werewolves, and that was earlier in the year.
yeah, I think he's a bit sick of his Night Stalker list that's literally just what it is because he built that display board, so he can't change anything. But anyway, we're talking about undead from Antonio. So yeah, 2 hordes of revenants, horde of werewolves with staying stone. We have revenant cavalry of many different varieties. So we've got a troop, a regiment with Sir Jesse's boots, another regiment with Blood of the Old King, another regiment, and then a horde with Brew of Sharpness. So that's 1 troop, 3 regiments, and a horde of revenant cavalry. So pretty fast. Different, very different. Then we have
That's
another.
not the end of the list.
We have another unit that you don't see much, which is the Lich King. Lich King, why not? So you've got 2 of them. One with Boots of Levitation, so it can move at the double and cast its Alchemist Curse, because that's all it's got. Just that makes sense. It's going fast. And then we have the other one with Edge Periscope and Blizzard. So there you go. That's a way to get some frozen. And I guess if you want to make sure your Revenant Cavalry can charge other cavalry, why not freeze them if you can cast it on 3? That's the only downside, is you might not cast it. And then we have 2 Undead Army Standard Bearers, which was it? Yeah, Wild Charge 2 Skeleton only. So I guess, yeah, that goes on the Revenant Cavalry. So that's kind of cool. They can go a bit faster again. One with Surge, one with Bane Chant, and of course, Morgoth the Mandatory, yeah, with all his spells and ability to cast 2 of them and move at the double. So a very good choice as well. But yeah, a lot of cavalry, and then a lot of support units, a lot of unit strength 0 individuals chasing after them. So that's, what do you guys think of this list?
Cool.
It's cool.
Lots of it's almost entirely skeletons. And very fast for a skeleton army.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the fact they can't go at the double, they're just slowly moving up. But when they charge, they will charge fast.
Yeah. He's got, what, Surge 15? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's Surge 10. Yeah, Surge 5, Surge 15. So yeah, if you need a sneaky something here, something there. And got Dread. I mean, it'll hurt when it goes in, but yeah, most of it's on melee 4+, apart from that cavalry horde.
And it gets hit back and it loses some charge, it's going to struggle. Or Phalanx is going to.
Oh yeah. So that skeleton spearman army is going to he's go against each other.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we'll see that at the top table at like round 4 or something.
Nothing will die. Everything just stands there flailing at each other.
Yeah. Melee 4, but no crushing or thunder, and the other one's melee 5 with no crushing or thunder. So.
And they're both fearless and they're both life leech with a bit of drain life in it as well. The 2 wounds that get through almost immediately get healed off.
I guess the only difference, these guys got werewolves, so that might be the tiebreaker. It's something that can just go around, get into flanks. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you don't see werewolves much.
How much drain life does he have?
I think it's just the drain life that comes with Morgoth, because the other guys, yeah, Bane Chant, Surge, Blizzard, Alchemist Curse.
Yeah, it's a super interesting list actually, because I think just looking at it, like, it's like deceptively fast, right? With a lot of the calves, and he's got all the essentially pseudo flying characters that will keep up with them. And so how I see this being played, and I don't know if you would play it this way, but just from my sort of look of it, is that all the cav are actually like fast anvils, it's an interesting choice of items. So like Boots of Striding and Blood the Old King, because it looks like he's gonna use them as like hammers. But I feel like Melee 4, Thunder 2 have, they only hit to a certain extent, right? They're not really gonna sort of do huge amounts of damage. So I kind of see them as like fast moving anvils that he can sort of shove up, generate tokens, get in the way, and then the two hordes of revenants coming behind, and once the tokens or things and stuff get passed backwards, that's just such a hard unit to sort of shift. And then he's got all these little characters there, Banechant to support the horde of Cav, and he's got like the Drain Life from Morgoth as well, Alchemist's Curse. So, what he's got is all these all these skeletons that don't hit very hard, but he's got a bit of, magic support coming from behind. So he's got his Drain Life, he's got his Alchemist's Curse, he's got some Blizzard. So, they can sort of, sit back, cop a hit, instead of countercharging, he can, oh wait, they don't play withdraw, right? They don't withdraw here.
No withdraw.
Oh, okay, yeah, but he's got his spells to sort of, essentially, if they're not sort of doing much, his spells can sort of shoot from behind, while the knights and the revenants just sort of sit there, soaking up wounds, getting healed back. Yeah, it's a cool list.
I mean, if there was a forest or something in the middle of the table, this army wouldn't be happy with that, because there's no terrain mitigation whatsoever, and a lot of it wouldn't be hitting on 5s. But
well, that's the thing.
I think it's like what Jan says. The Cav are not there to sort of actually hit anything. They don't care if they're not getting their Thunderous. They'll go in, or they'll get hit, and they're like, well, they've got there's Drain Life and there's Banechant, so they can hit back anyway. Some of them quite hard still, with one got Brew of Sharpness or whatever, one with Blood of the Old King, and they're just not going to die, the Cav, even if they get charged and never get to charge themselves. It's a bit deceptive, I think. And you'd have that second line of Revenants maybe, or the Werewolves. Although Werewolves, I'm guessing he's just going to send them up a flank. But yeah, I think the Cav may never charge and get off a Thunderous 2 or 3 the whole game, and he might be fine with that.
Well, you can walk them over terrain and surge them in too.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see.
It'd be interesting to see how he plays it, because I think it's a cool list, and I think you think the Cav are there for hitting, but I feel like they're not really, right? So so I think if it's even better for them if they sit in terrain and the opponent goes in and can't kill them, and then you either sort of Drain Life them or flank or Alchemist Curse the opponent to death while they just sort of sit there, Yeah, it's interesting. I'll be keen to see it in action, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, let's hope we get to see it in the top tables. I mean, should be in all likelihood. All right, on to 5th. We have George with Trident Realms of Neritica. So he came 5th last year. So I'll zoom it out a little bit so it's not straight in our face. Ooh, there you go. So it's lots of variety. We got a Regiment of Thule with Brew of Strength. You definitely need that. 2 regiments of Placoderms, 1 horde of Depth Horrors with the Helm of the Drunken Ram. I haven't seen those guys for a while. Horde of Gigas, 2 regiments of Naiad Worm Riders. I've never seen them in regiments. 2 regiments of Tidal Swarm, 2 Knuckers, the Naiad Centurion with the almost classic loadout of the Bright. We got the Trident of the Drowned Sea, so you can disorder things. But instead of Boots of Levitation, it's Boots of the 7 Leagues. It gives it Scout instead of the classic move at the double and still shoot. So that's different. I don't know if I always want to Scout, but I guess you're right out there. And then we have a Thule Mythicon with another classical combination, which is the Gnome Glass Shield and host Shadow Beast 3. So you can just hit hard and can't be hit. Naiad Envoy with Bastion 2, which is a fantastic spell in this army, I've found. And then finally on the other side, the Riverguard Sentinel, which is a little frog guy with Duelist. And I don't think there's any stuff for the Vicious Aura to affect, so just for himself. And the Naiad Wormrider Centurion, which is the large cav. Worm Rider hero with a staying stone, just to make it a little bit tougher, I suppose. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of army. It's got variety, and I mean that's the cool thing about the Trident Realms army list is just so many things to choose from, and this is almost like touching on each of the major genres. What do you guys think? You've gone against my Trident Realm, so I guess you've had exposure that way, and other Trident Realms as well.
It's just interesting not seeing the formation.
Oh, you mean the frog one?
Yeah,
am I thinking of the one with the tool,
the
the
old
full regiment? So
yeah,
that
you
gone, is it?
wish. Yeah, Days of Yore, we wish. Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, that's why you don't see Thule so much anymore because that was you got
That's
Thule,
the
they
only
had
way you'd see him.
Pathfinder, they got Thunderous. Yeah, so that's now this is the only way, which is Thule with a bit of an upgrade, such as Brew of Strength. So that way they can at least fight on their own without a Bane Chant. And Bane Chant's really hard to get in the Trident Realm. You pretty much need to just get a little hero and give them the Book of Insatiable Darkness. No, Loot of Insatiable Darkness. But I think it's yeah, Worm Riders regiments. It's 13, 15, defense 4. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's a mystery to me.
It's a mystery to many. Depth Horrors is Helm of the Drunken Ram. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Trident Realm have always slightly mystified me, like as a list. I think they're very different to all your other sort of lists out there. They're quite, I feel like as far as Kings of War goes, the Trident Realm are actually quite unique, which I would like to see more of it, based off the discussion we were having in the last time we caught up. I think Trident Realm actually feel unique, and it's cool that they're a unique Mantic IP as well. But as far as the game goes as well, I think they're quite different. And I think that's the reason why you look at this and you kind of like, you're not really sure what to sort of do with it, because everything else you kind of look, okay, cool. You've gone all the defense 5, you've gone all the skeletons, or, it's fairly, what, I don't know how you would say, like straightforward lists in a way that you kind of look and you kind of like, okay, I can see how this might work. And then you look at this one and you go like, oh yeah, it's a bit of everything. You kind of wonder what the Worm Rider regiments sort of do. Maybe they're chaff, maybe they're flankers. I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. Man, I like there's a bit of everything. What's the second page there with the other two heroes?
Yeah. They were the Riverguard Sentinel, which is the guy that normally you take for his vicious aura for amphibians.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the frog stuff. But in this case, I assume he's just going around as more of a disruptor because he's not bad.
Yeah, I reckon the Riverguard Sentinel, this little guy, he's a real sleeper unit. So because his defense 5 and snare, right? He's got 5 attacks as well. So he shoots with 5 attacks on 4s with piercing. He flies. He's got duelist. Vicious, a vicious aura as well. I think it's a really handy unit. I'm surprised that you don't see. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen many Triton Realm, but I would take a few more of him because I think it's a really cool, unique little unit actually.
I think the only reason is he's 125 points, so he's not cheap.
I had no idea that guy actually fly. Did he? Has he always had fly?
Yeah, because they're like hopping, right?
Yeah. I think they've always had fly. But speed 7.
Fly, yeah.
Yeah. That was how they represent their hopping. But he's also got leaper, so he could charge over something.
Yeah, I mean, 125 is not heinously expensive for an individual, really.
Yeah.
I think that's what would stop you from taking 3, though. 3 at 125 would be like, ooh, you're going heavy. But if you have full frogs. But no, I do like them. I probably should just make one from various sprues that I've got, but I've never tried them. He is similar to the Naiad Centurion, who is also kind of like that defense 5 ensnare. It's just like it's hard to, but the Naiad Centurion's even harder to get through because he's got that regen 4+, so that's pretty good. But yeah,
that guy's so good.
He is. If anything, I think because he got the boots of levitation, personally, I would say that's like the best way, because then he can just zip around and he has a 24-inch threat range throughout the game, whereas this is more like he has a 24-inch threat range at the start of the game when he scouts, but then you kind of forget about it. So
you're saying the Worm Rider Centurion?
No, sorry, Naiad Centurion. Yeah, very confusing. Naiad Centurion as opposed to
Oh,
the
it's just
one on the worm. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
no, the
And
Naiad.
it's only the title swarms that scout up with him, but they don't
Yes.
have a ranged attack. They haven't
No,
got
they
that
haven't been
upgrade.
upgraded with the Nokken. No,
Yeah.
Nokken Shepherd. So,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of speed as well. That's also what makes it hard to gauge because you got like speed 5, you got speed 6, speed 9, speed 8. It's a lot of stuff, mental calculations for your opponent to do just looking at this, and then nothing is easy to calculate how you will kill it because he's like, oh, it's defense 3, but also it's ensnare. So like, oh, okay, then that changes the maths again, and yeah, so nothing's easy to just figure out. And I think that's also part of the secret power of the Trident Realms. Like you guys said, you don't know what it does, and so when your opponent, it's round 3, end of the day, and then you look at this list, and then you see it on the table, you're just like, your decision making is just a little bit more taxing than usual, as opposed to just straight up something. This is defense 5, that's it. Even though defense 4 in snare is mathematically should be similar.
Mm.
Seems like a very reactive force. There's no obvious hammer. So I'm
Oh,
guessing it
yes.
moves up, relies on the ensnare to take a hit but not die too much.
I think,
And then you're
yeah,
counter charging and hoping for some good flanks there or something.
That's pretty
I
much
think
how it
that's a
works.
Trident Realm though, right? Because
Yeah,
they
the
only
Trident Realm
have
is
the
reactive.
frogs. They only have I
Uh,
think the Dam Busters that are a proper hammer, I guess, and the
Worm
Worm
Riders can be
Riders maybe.
hammers. Yeah, they
Yeah.
can be
Yeah,
fast.
but both of them aren't the best hammers because the Worm Riders are crushing 1, but they're melee 3
Mm.
plus, whereas the Dam Busters are melee 4, but at least they're like Thunder 2 crushing 1. Like they can hit really hard, but they with 18 attacks, they could just do 4 damage. And you'll be like, 4 damage.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's what makes the Trident Realms hard. There's no clear hammer, which is fun. It's a different problem.
actually, the more I look at this list, the more I like it. Actually, it's very cool because it has a bit, like I said, it's got quite a few different tools. Like you've got 3 units of defense 6, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
which the Gigas, I think as playing you with your Gigas list, JP, like that 12 attacks, 3s, crushing 2, and vicious, they do damage. They do work with
Yeah.
12 attacks, you know. And then he's got the fearless swarms. I really rate title swarms as well because yeah, sure, they're defense 2, but they're fearless. They scout. They've got ensnare. Just shove them up, right? Anything that doesn't really have too much shooting will have real problems sort of dealing with them. You've got the knuckers that can get in the way or do
Knuckers are so annoying.
scoring, get flanks, and he's got the little characters who will get in the way with their ensnare. One has a non-glass shield, one has defense 5, 2 of defense 5 with ensnare. They shoot as well. Like, yeah, I think it's a really cool list. I really like it.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
would play
not.
it.
You'd play it. Well, that's a pretty good endorsement. Hopefully, there's so many lists that we just want to see in action. And unfortunately, I think there's only one streaming table. But hopefully, we'll be lucky enough to see this one swimming around on the tabletop. All right. Well, let's keep moving on. We're going to go to who came 6th, and it was Jonathan Quayle, John Quayle of the Quayle Cup, bringing also Empire of Dust, but very different to the previous one that we just saw. We have 2 regiments of mummies, both with Casket of the Damned, so they'll be scouting. 2 hordes of skeleton warriors with the 2-handed weapons. We have then a horde of revenants with Hammer of Measured Force, and again, all of those have Casket of the Damned, so it's moving up pretty fast. Scavenger regiments, which are also pretty fast chaff. Soul Snare, Bone Giant, Undead Worm, Monolith, Standard Bearer, the Ammonite Standard Bearer with Surge, and on an undead horse, I guess, so move around fast. And that has the Strider Aura Skeleton only, which is everything except the well, at least it's the Skeleton Warriors and Revenants, and the Bone Giant, and not the and the Undead Worm. And then at the end, here we go. This is something a bit more that Ian wanted to see. We've got the Pharaoh Royal Chariot that's been upgraded to Raz the Undying, and has Surge 8, so it can put that melee 3 plus on one of those big skeleton units. And then the Cursed High Priest also on Royal Chariot with Crown of the Wizard King to cast those 2 spells. Those 2 spells being Drain Life and Surge for one turn. So it's also an interesting list. Not spamming one kind of thing, all kinds of different things and things that you might expect. But what do you think, Ian? Expert first.
Yeah, I think it's really solid. It's probably more aligned to something that I would play as well. Yeah, so I think it's a good list. Like you've got those mummies with Scout. If he can sort of shove up, and if he protects them properly, it's going to be very hard to remove them. If he stops multi charges going to them, it's going to be very hard to sort of remove them. They have regen. They'll sit there. And then you've got the skeleton warriors, which are budget hammers with Ra, right? You might get what you're going to get is like 25 attacks on threes, pushing one on one unit a turn if he wants. The revenants as well, solid. Just scary units to sort of go into. He's got the two scavengers to prevent exactly that, the combo charges into those units that he needs to. He's got the two sort of almost mandatory. He's got a monolith in there, right?
Yep, there's the monolith and the soul snare.
Yeah, two mandatory sort of special units, monolith and soul snare. And there's threats everywhere with Ra. So you've got the bone giant, you've got the undead worm, right? Any of them could receive the melee 3 from Ra. And they're crazy scary. And they've all got Strider basically as well. So I mean for the infantry, not so much for the worm. The bone giant already has Strider. I think it's a really solid list, and I think John is quite known for his Empire Dust, I think. So yeah, it's a really good list. I like it.
I assume the guys are on the chariot as well, just to try and keep up with that scouting infantry, because by the time it's turn 2, they've already gone so far ahead. Yeah, it's good. It's more about the question. You see all those skeleton hordes, and you're like, yeah, I could just go into them and grind away, but you wouldn't be able to grind.
No, but they'll be sitting behind. Yeah, they'll be sitting behind to follow up against.
Exactly. They'll come in tuned with the melee 3+. So you'll just be like, oh no.
Do you really think you can grind against Empire of Dust?
Well, it depends on the army I'm using.
Right? It's going to be real hard to kill through.
Yeah, it's a lot of nerve.
There's a lot of nerve.
How much unit strength? Yeah, 26 unit strength. I mean, it's not 41, but it's still respectable.
But this one can actually kill you.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the undead worm. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep going because we're taking a while. But that's to be expected. 7th, did not return this year. So we've got 8th, Ulysses, with undead again. So we've got some more undead to look at. Good thing we added some more variety. But it's again different. So that's good. Regiment of skeleton spearmen, horde of revenants, 2 troops of wraiths, 3 hordes of zombie trolls, 1 horde of wights with the mace of crushing, 1 horde of revenant cavalry with brew of sharpness, a lich king with the boots of levitation and alchemist's curse, necromancer with okay. We got the aura for zombies, so that's for the zombie trolls, and then sacred horn to increase that aura to get all those zombie trolls, and then surge 6, bane chant 2, and veil of shadows 3 to stop that shooting. Undead army standard bearer with the tome of darkness, and then Morgoth the Faceless, again, to do all those spells that he does, and that's it. But that's a lot. This looks like an army that, when I play on Undead, I don't have zombie trolls yet, but I really want them, and I feel like this is something that I would be similar. I would take something similar to this. But yeah, it's all fearless, so that's already terrifying, and all high defense, really. Yeah, it would be hard to get through, and everything wants to hurt you as well. The zombie trolls with the vicious on them means that, yeah, melee 4 is not great, but whatever gets through will hurt.
Yeah, there's nothing about that list I don't like, except for perhaps the Necromancer being a little bit overloaded with spells that I don't think he'll be able to get all the use out of.
Yes.
And the Revcav hordes. Not a fan of the cavalry hordes. It's good, but I'd rather have 2 regiments. Right? You've got 3 zombie troll hordes and a white horde to do your real hammering.
Yeah, it takes a lot of space.
Probably excessive, but I mean, I'm not an undead player, so.
Well, I guess the wild charge 2 on the it's a bit of speed.
I wonder if he'll run out of space on the table. This is quite a big, because he's got a unit of a horde of revenants, a horde of cav, 3 hordes of zombie trolls. So there's a lot of real estate that those units sort of take up. I mean, they're really hard to get through. Like, it'd be, pretty challenging to go into any one of those units and not cop a bad countercharge, because you really have to overinvest into those units to take them off. But yeah, I do wonder whether he'll run out of space on the table. But it looks like a scary list to fight into, though. Like, just so hard to take off, and then they countercharge with a fair bit in there with the zombie trolls. You've got the whites as well. You've got wraith troops to get in the way. Yeah.
I wondered the exact same thing about Florence's army, whether she'd have enough space. I assume they've sort of thought that through, had a plan of here's my deployment. And obviously there's going to have to be layers, maybe checkerboard, I don't know. But yeah, you won't be able to have one big line, I think.
No, not if it all wants to be together.
Yeah.
But with the scout, you can sort of have a second deployment phase.
Yeah, well, that's for Florence's list. This got no scout, so this one's just going to slowly, not too slowly, but slowly enough, shuffle up until eventually it can sprint off. But yeah, we'll. But yeah, definitely not a bad list. Definitely not a bad list.
It's nice to see this. I think there's quite a lot of variety, right, so far in the first 8 lists we've seen.
Yeah, well, none of them have been really any kind of duplication, even in play style so much. They've all kind of had their own thing. So that's, even though we've had 2 repeats of Undead and 2 repeats of Empire of Dust, they have not been the same style. So that's nice.
And neither of Empire of Dust had Shobik, interestingly.
I was thinking that, yeah. Shobik. Yan, you've been leaning on Shobik too long. He's a trap. But that said, his Shobik is very well painted, so it's a good excuse to bring it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on to 9th. Who came 9th last year? It was George Kirk. And this time, bringing Basileans. There we go. Something really different. So, Basileans, we've got 2 regiments of the swordsmen, 2 troops of scouts with bows, and 1 regiment of scouts with bows, 2 hordes of Alohi, both upgraded with that Celestial Fury, which means they're crushing 2, -1 defense. And one's got Helm of the Drunken Ram, other one got Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding, bit of Gur Panthers troop for a bit of chaff, the Fantastic Phoenixes, 2 of those, a wizard with Alchemist Curse and Wither and Perish. Okay, one, sure, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's like weakness but short range, and it does do damage. But yeah, it's only 2. Is it a D3 on the Wither and Perish? I don't even remember. No.
I'm looking it up now because.
Thank you. All right, we'll get back to that. What does Wither and Perish do? Then we've got Julius, Dragon of Heaven. So there's like the super angel. Fantastic. Oh man, if they could make a proper Julius model that looks badass, that would be so cool.
If they did that, I would start Basileia tomorrow.
You would have no willpower, would you, Dan? You'd just be like,
I would not.
Yeah. So there you go, Mantic. You got at least 1 customer putting money down. Ogre Palace Guard Captain, with Hex, not bad. That's the first Trickster's wand, and Gnaeus Celestus, which is the kind of large cav hero, which is pretty hard to take down. I've gone against him a few times and was tougher than I thought each time. It's a good mixed Basileans army with quite a lot of shooting. Like, we got all those Sisterhood scouts shooting all their bows, and then we got the fire sparks from the Phoenixes. And you got Wither and Perish, I suppose. Alchemist Curse is the real one. But what does Wither and Perish do, expert Matt?
Yeah, so it is weakness, but it's 12-inch range. And for each hit you score, you roll a D3 and total the result, and then you roll a wound with that.
Oh, then you roll to wound with. So the blast.
Yeah, essentially, if you roll 2 hits, you roll 2d3 and then roll to damage. So theoretically, if you hit both times and then roll 6 hits, it's 6 chances at a wound. Or,
At their defense. So no piercing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's really interesting.
Except you've got Alchemist Curse on that model, so.
I assume you can cast Wither and Perish into combat like weakness. So I guess that's the only difference. You can't Alchemist Curse into combat, so.
Oh, you can't?
No, I don't think so. It's
Okay,
a
I haven't done
Alchemist
it in a
Curse.
while.
So I guess that's when he swaps. You know, he's alchemist cursing first few turns, and then wither and perishing once they get into combat. That's all I can imagine.
Mm.
Yeah, but
He doesn't have
surely,
any speed. He's not mounted. He's not on wings. It's
Yeah.
another
yeah,
one where I just don't quite understand that choice.
surely that Alchemist Curse should be Scorched Earth,
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, and you can
right? If
cast
you
that
want to
pretty much
go,
all the time.
if you want that defense, like, you know, the defensive
Well,
tool, like you kit him out to be defensive, or you kit him out to be combative, and then you probably don't take Wither and Perish. That's
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like this list. I really would love to play more people that are not part of our sort of little pond. Because I feel like there's some really cool lists that they run, and obviously all good players because they all placed really well in like the last clash. I've played obviously some people overseas on UB, but that's not really the same. Because I look at this list and I kind of go, okay, like what do the sisterhood scouts want to do? They probably want to sit back, right, and shoot. And so they're going to be deploying a little bit further back. And then you've got the two men and arm units that are, probably going to be playing for. You might be able to push them up for tokens, or you might be able to be sitting in the back on an objective. Usually, how I sort of run these sort of regiments would just be, they're taking a control section, they're sitting on an objective, or they're pushing up for chaff. But because they're pushing up to control space, they're only speed 5, and you've got speed 10 Elohi, right? So how does this list sort of want to advance forward? I'm not really sure because you've got 2 hordes of Elohi and only 1 Ger Panther troop. I guess you got Naeus and was it Julius as well? Is that right?
Naeus and Julius, yes, and Julius is
and
And Ogre Peltguard. Okay.
yeah,
The last entry below is Naeus, is it?
yes, yeah, Naeus.
Yeah.
Speed 9 character.
But still, like I kind of look at it and like how will he advance with this list? Because he's got essentially 2 Aloha units. He's got Julius, which is solid, Naeus, which is solid. They can sort of shove up. But yeah, it's just sort of interesting to me to think about how this list would play because I'm not really sure how I would use it myself. But I think it's a cool list. It's got some really solid elements in there. The double Phoenix is very good. With heal 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think
defense 6 dragon is always on a 40 mil base is always going to be painful.
Yeah, with a dread, he's awesome, Julius.
I think it's the 20 fire sparks shots along with the 32 scout shooting shots. Like, there's a lot of range damage there that's going to force your opponent to come into a low height range.
And Julius can do a fireball if you're really in a pinch.
Yeah.
If they get within 12, you can wither and perish.
Oh, watch out! That's the real combo. No,
I guess as he's going to charge the Elohi, perhaps one horde is going to be on one flank, and that can go in with Nias, and the other horde's going to go in with Julius. And those combinations should take out most things. And then everything else can pretty much hold the center. Because the Elohi are defense 4, he's got the Phoenixes to heal. And you've got the Wither and Perish to kind of prevent too much damage being done on the Elohi in any kind of responsive combat. That's sort of how I would play it if I was to try and play this list. But yeah, I guess, he's going to have to go forward and attack with those. Like, I don't think he's going to sit back, is basically what I'm saying. I think he's going to have to go forward with the angels pretty soon.
I think the opposite, but
you reckon?
Who knows? Yeah, I think the yellow hire a countercharge threat here. It's going to depend on but like,
I don't think there's enough shooting to really bring someone to you. 32 shots from bows is and the fire sparks, I mean, it's all right, but it's 18-inch range. There's no piercing on it. In fact, there's no piercing anywhere, really.
Yeah, but these are all Glade Stalkers, right? Essentially. They're like,
Yeah.
what's he got? 40, 52 shots from Gladestalkers.
32.
No, elite. Yeah, no, vicious. So they're pretty much Gladestalkers. No, he's got 52 shots altogether on forward.
Altogether, yeah.
Yeah, but 32 of it have
altogether.
vicious, and then
and then
20 don't.
fireball.
At the right
that's
target.
Enough. I mean, that clears all the harpies from the herd list we saw, like in a turn.
Yeah, you wouldn't have your harpies up front, though. You'd be keeping them behind.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
That can be what I would say. Like, that clears all your opponent's chaff, unless it's, real thick chaff. Those white wraiths.
Or at least forces them to hide their chaff, so therefore you have the speed advantage. So I guess that's what it's doing. You can get that speed advantage, and then you pick the best of targets for those Alohi to go into and hopefully kill it, and then turn to face the rest of the army, kind of thing. That's how I would play
my thoughts on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, from being stumped on Basileans, let's go to who came 11th, because there was the 10th is not coming. So it's the Radislaw with Abyssal Dwarves, which we haven't had yet either. So we have 2 troops of Abyssal Berserkers, 1 horde of Black Souls with the Staying Stone, and the Fiery Bulwark, which gives them Iron Resolve D3. So that's pretty cool. Iron Resolve D3. 2 hordes of Decimators, 1 with Fire Oil, just why not, just to make it a little bit more piercing. 2 troops of Gargoyles, a horde of Obsidian Golems, 2 Heavy Mortars, 1 Infernock, 1 Ironcaster with Surge, Lightning Bolt 3, and Banechant 2 with the Conjurer's Staff. Yeah, we're getting a lot. And then Dravak Dolken, who has Fireball 12, Heal 3, Surge 12, and 2 Hexcasters, both of which have Hex 3 and Weakness 3. One has Edge Periscope, and the other one has an Inspiring Talisman, because, yes, there is not that much Inspiring in this list, so need some more. But there you go. It seems like there's quite a fashion in the UK for having 3 spells on your spellcasters, which I think we even barely see 2 spells on our spellcasters here in Australia, but maybe we're just conservative. But yeah, there you go. It's there's a lot of shooting when you have those 2 Decimator hordes, and you're just trying to protect them, I assume, and they're just going to be behind the Black Souls and the Obsidian Golems, something like that, while also being annoyed by Heavy Mortars. Bringing back.
I think you'd have Decimators behind those things. You really need them sort of with clear lanes of fire. It's interesting that actually he hasn't taken Elite on one of those.
Yeah, it's usually what you see, a Blessing of the Gods.
Wow, you've got to put 3 spells on all your spellcasters so they don't have points for it.
That's true. He drops the Surge 8 from his Ironcaster, then there you go, Blessing of the Gods. I don't know. Yeah, Surge 8, because the surging will only be for those Obsidian Golems, but and Infernock, I suppose.
Infernock, that's the other one.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
But you got Surge 12 from Dravak Dolken, so I don't know if you need 2 lots of Surge. I think you could go without Surge, and then have your Blessing of the Gods, so that when you're shooting, you really are gonna blow something away when you finally get that shot off. But I mean, Decimators aren't bad. Any ideas? You guys, we've never really used Abyssal Dwarves, any of us, but we've all gone against them, Tuckies and
I was about to say
AGs.
AGs, Tucky, AG, and Benson has Abyssal Dwarves as well. Yeah.
Seems pretty...
it's not what they'd take, We're used to seeing lots of grotesques.
Yes. AG would be normally heavy grotesques, but this has got none of those.
Or at least 1 unit of half-breeds. Little half-breed champions running around to disorder things.
Yeah, it's a very slow army, actually, this whole one. The only thing that's fast are the Gargoyles, and
that is true.
No ensnare nets on the Berserkers. I mean, I guess you don't expect them to survive a hit, but...
I suppose they're a bit nasty on the flank, actually, these little things. 24 attacks on 3s, crushing 1 vicious. As a bit of a counter-charge threat. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit.
I mean, if they get exposed, like this is what the Sisterhood Scouts can just shoot off.
Mm.
And do you have them behind?
Yeah, I probably put them as
Yeah,
like
you probably
the
would.
second line or something, you know? Yeah,
Yep.
up behind all your decimators and stuff. That's how I probably would think of using them. Or they could be also relatively fast, you know, zone control sort of things, you know. Charge 13 isn't terrible. It outcharges all the speed 6 ogre type lists. If they have no shooting, they can sort of go out the front. Otherwise, sit them back on a counter charge. They're pretty nasty. Yeah, it's interesting lesson. Like, yeah, a lot of shooting, right? You've got the double decimators and the heavy mortars and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And you've got the spellcasters, and Infernoc can cast all those spells in
Spellcasters.
addition, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it says Fireball 24 in there. And Hexcasters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Hexcasters roll damage. You know, there's lots of shooting in there. Yeah,
it's
something
a good
different
list.
again. It's cool. Yeah, it's a cool list. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're finished with the ranked ones. Now we've just got the rest of the rabble, which I've just got a whole selection here, and well, let's take a look at. Well, you guys used to know Marcello Rucco, right? He used to be Australian before he
Yeah,
went over.
Marcello. Yeah. I never knew him personally, but he was definitely, you know, in that scene in Warhammer Fantasy Battles back in the day. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look. I know he's a fan of the Order of the Green Lady, and it's what he's taken once again. If you take a look at the countercharge Order of the Green Lady army review, this is pretty bang on. Yeah, this is pretty much bang on what he would talk about. So we got 2 regiments of the Retainers, Men-at-Arms Retainers, 3 regiments of Order of Redemption, each one upgraded with pretty much the combat item that you would want. So Brew of Sharpness, Blessing of the Gods, and Brew of Strength. Then we have 2 hordes of Order of the Forsaken, the big flying ones with Helm of the Drunken Ram and Suggesties Boots of Striding and Vial of Sacred Water, so that they can get that Sacred Water keyword and some health back. 3 Pegasi to go around. Exemplar of the Brotherhood, which is the little hero guy. So just a little kind of dart with 3 attacks, Blade of Slashing, and on a horse. Avatar of the Green Lady, pretty good. And Exemplar Redeemer, which is the unit strength 1 kind of hero, because they're on a winged unicorn with a Vial of Sacred Water and Brew of Haste for speed 11. Fast, very fast. Nothing slow apart from those 2 men-at-arms dudes that'll, I assume, just hold tokens and trudge along behind the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the classic Alpha Strike. He'll just do what he does best. He'll position turns 1, 2, 3 for the best angles, and then do a very big turn 4 or 5 perhaps, and yeah, pretty much win on 1 turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, this is the sort of list that when I look at for Alpha Strike, I look at the herd and I kind of look at it and go like, you're not really Alpha Strike. You don't do Alpha Strike nearly as well as a list like this, right? This entire list, they're all defense 5, right? They have regeneration, right? They're melee 3, they're speed 8 and above, right? So they have the ability to weather shooting. They have the ability to outspeed majority of the army. They have reliability on 3+. You know, while you look at the herd and you've got, you know, brutes that are speed 6 and melee 4. So when you're talking about Alpha Strike, you want to dial up your reliability. You want stuff that is, you know, headstrong. So you have waiver mitigation. You want stuff that hits on the 3s. You know, you want defense 5 if you're coming up against shooting. Yeah, so I think I look at this list and I kind of go like, this is how you play Alpha Strike with a list like this, and Herd just doesn't do it as well.
Faster.
Yeah.
He's just got the speed to do it.
Yeah, these guys don't need a Horn of Migration or something to move around to help that get to the speed that you want it to be. These guys can just all do it baked in. They can do it by themselves. Yeah.
Regen, it's got heal built in as well, so there's even more staying power, right?
That Brew of Sharpness.
Yeah, it can grind, you know, with all the crushing ones on everything. Yeah.
Order of Redemption going in, Brew of Sharpness, and they've got that'll hurt. Whew. 20
I
attacks on
wonder
melee plus.
sometimes how people that play these lists can sort of, like, say you come against a very good player who sees this and sort of knows how to defend it against it. And I remember when, I'm guessing all of us have played Mike Crossman, and if we've taken anything that has decent hammers, he'll have his units either in cover or there's a flank blocked off by a building, or he will angle two units such that no double charges can ever happen. And if Martello comes across a player that exactly knows how to do that, how does this list still win? Obviously, yes, as Jan said, they've got some grinding power, but usually if you have units like these hammers go in, and if it doesn't break, they're in trouble.
Yeah, there's a punishment
And
usually.
what's your contingency for that? What do you then do if you don't go through, if you don't break through? And I'm
You
just
come up
interested.
against an army that's entirely phalanx.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
fearless phalanx, and you could wiggle it all in such a way that nothing can get more than one unit in, especially with those skeleton regiments. You could just have it all annoyingly positioned.
Yeah, so
and I think
if you find you're facing armies like that, or if you're just facing an opponent that just positions everything so well, it prevents all double charges, like what's your win strategy?
well,
Because I
that's
don't
why I think
know.
it'd be interesting to see Marcelo, right, play, because he obviously played this really well, and
Yeah.
I would almost guarantee that he would face individuals in the US who would know how to layer, who would know how to mitigate against double charges. He would be playing those people all the time, and presumably he would still win, you know. And so why I don't like Alpha Strike myself is that I don't think I'm very good at Alpha Strike, and I don't think I really know how to mitigate against someone who does layer, who does you know, angle two regiments, to stop the combo charge, just to stop the inevitable counter back on me. So I think, yeah, I think it'll be super interesting to see Marcelo play against someone who knows how to do that, and see what sort of answers he comes up with to counter that as well. But yeah, I don't know, because I don't like Alpha Strike armies myself, because I don't find I play them very well. Because as you say, Dan, I think I don't know how to overcome someone playing against me who does all those things like layers and mitigates against combo charges, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go through just a few more, and then we'll call it a day. So what we got up here? Oh, Glenn Waring, who has amazing painting. Ah, yes, because he's been painting Riftforged Orcs. So we haven't had Riftforged Orcs yet. So why not some Riftforged? If you guys have seen his painting being popped up on the Facebook over like the last year or 2 years, I think he's been painting them for ages. He even redid them. I think he painted like half of it, and then he came up with a new color scheme that actually made him happier to paint. In what I remember. So what he's gone for is one regiment and horde of Riftforged legionaries. One regiment of the Reborn Legionaries, which are the guys that have that inspiring.
I gotta jump, guys. But
all right.
Thanks for the chat.
Thanks,
I'll see you guys
Yan.
soon.
It's all right.
All right, bye. See ya.
Bye. Maybe we'll make this one the last one. All right, and then a horde of Thunderseers. Interesting. Don't see them very often, but I do want to paint some up. 2 troops of Tundra Wolves, 2 hordes of Hellstrikers. Yeah, they're always good. 2 Storm Slayers. I don't know if you guys have seen. I've never run one. I've got one, but I haven't painted it. But those are like the kind of Berserker Troll unit with 8 attacks, melee 3, crushing 2. So like, yeah, they just really can do quite a bit of damage, and I should use one. Then we got the good old Stormforged Shrine. Yeah. You know what that does? Cast lots of spells, kind of supports the entire army, and if it gets hexed, you feel really annoyed. The Flagger, which is got that strength in numbers one. If you know, that gives the rampage depending on how many orc units are within 6. It adds that plus rampage to infantry nearby. So I guess that will be helping out the Riftforged infantry. And then we have a Stormbringer, which is kind of like Thonar, but not like Thonar Light, with a Gnome Glass shield. So make it pretty tough. So I guess that's what makes it better than Thonar, is you can give it the Gnome Glass shield. It's also still, with all those upgrades, cheaper than Thonar. and the Rift Forger, which is which has got Veil of Shadows. That's interesting. So yeah, he doesn't really want to get in combat. He wants to be casting Veil of Shadows. I guess yeah, the Rift Forger is just one of the characters that can take it. So yeah, that's an interesting list. Got some stuff that you expect, but some things you wouldn't. You guys have gone against my Rift Forge a few times. Does this make you feel scared, or you're like, oh, this is all right?
I'm still working out the differences between all the Riftborn, Rift Orc, Rift.
Oh, the names aren't helping.
something.
The Storm this, the
Yeah.
Storm that.
It's not really exciting or inspiring, is it? I mean, I feel like that's most of the Riftforged Orc list. It's just like, yeah, I've got some infantry regiments and they're okay. And then I've got Thunderseers and they're okay. Hellstrikers are good.
Right, the Dracons really.
Yeah, right. So they're scary. But I mean, you've not got much. I guess your Tundra Wolves are chaffing for them, but they're kind of expensive for chaff and kind of easy to shoot off.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the problems with Rift Forge Orcs. They don't have cheap chaff, so the cheapest it gets is Tundra Wolves or the Rift Walkers. That's what you got.
I mean, Gnome Glass Shield on a Defense 5 guy seems a little wasted.
Yeah, I guess he just won't get much worse if he gets hit.
But I mean, wouldn't you rather, if you've got Stormstrike, wouldn't you rather a Blade of Slashing?
That's true, because then you can get that blast off. So yeah, I don't know.
And then the flag is, you know, yeah, I guess it seems kind of grindy, but it's not good enough to grind against any of the undead or EOD list we've seen. It's slower than the Basileans. It's got no real range threats. Like, I'm sure it's going to look great on the table, but
it's going to be beautiful.
I can't really see what it does.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he plays quite well last time, so he's not just a hobbyist.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And I mean, you're the only one around here that plays Riftforged Orcs, so if you haven't discovered how to use them properly, then
I'm just interested in what the Storm Slayers will be doing. I assume they'll be helping out all the infantry really punch through stuff because I'm looking at one and maybe I should paint it. It's a good model.
Yeah,
it's very odd that he doesn't have any kind of profile. There's no items on the Hellstrikers to give him any kind of terrain mitigation or anything like that. It's a bit odd.
It's quite lean in terms of items, actually.
Yeah. I would have definitely put Jesse's boots on at least one of the Hellstrikers. That seems, maybe an oversight. I don't know. But the rest of it looks pretty good. You've got some good infantry. You've got some chaff, 2 decent hammers. Storm Slayers I've never even seen before, but they look sort of like chaffy type, thick chaff monsters. I don't know.
Yeah, they're dash 14.
But they don't inspire.
No,
so they're not like a Central Prime. And the defense 4.
The defense 4. Nice. Yeah. Nimble's good.
They're faster.
Yeah. Maybe they're more like flankers. They just kind of hang back and do a nimble charge into the side, a bit like a large cav hero type role.
Yeah, but with 8 attacks, you'll feel it. You'll be like,
oh yeah.
16 crushing 2. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
my guess is he's there to get probably a best painted award. If he doesn't get some kind of award, I'd be surprised.
Well, we've got a few more lists. We said we'd do the Singaporean, so let's just pick one. Where was it? Andy Ransom. Ooh, Night Stalkers.
Yeah, that one was on my interesting,
Andy
list.
2d6.
It's very much, I think, what he's been running on his channel for a while, but it looks good.
Yeah, 1 regiment of scarecrows, a horde of scarecrows, a legion of bloodworms with a hammer of measured force. That's just how they come. 2 hordes of butchers, a regiment of shadowhams with helm of the drunken ram. That's something you take, Matt, in your army quite often.
Yeah, that's how they come.
Yeah, that's how they come. We got the soul flayers, just one regiment. Regiment of needle fangs, 3 shadow hulks because he has those cool converted shadow hulks that he has. Portal of despair and a dread fiend. So yeah, it's It's light on items, not too much, and just lots of units. So 31 unit strength that's quite a lot for Night Stalkers.
It's grindy and it's hitty. The only thing I would say is you've got so much stuff you want to grind with. Where's your planar apparition to heal them?
That would be nice. That would be a nice luxury, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Drop a Shadow Hulk, bring in a planar
drop a
apparition.
you can. The Dread Fiend and the Needle Fangs can go to a planar apparition, and some items would be my changes if I was running this. I don't run this like this, but if I was doing this one, that's how I'd switch it up. But I mean, Andy's been playing it for ages. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, and it'll look cool. 3 Shadow Hulks. It's always good to have lots of centerpieces. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, can you guys? Well, we probably should call it there. 3:30. Thank you for your time, I guess. Or do you want to do one more list? How are we feeling?
Very quickly, you could do one more.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can find one of the Sigemporians. Because I was there's Page. Let's go Page. Page Neo. Forces of the Abyss. Page's Persian Abyssals in UK is what he's called it. Whoa, okay, yeah. So we got 2 Flame Bearer regiments. Nothing crazy there. 2 troops of gargoyles, but the exciting stuff is the Abyssal Berserkers. We've got a regiment and 3 hordes of Abyssal Berserkers.
Wow.
Yeah, and they've all got sacrificial imps, so they can get that defense. Defense 6 just for 1 turn against shooting. And then they've got one's got Mace of Crushing, one's got Brew of Sharpness, Helm of the Drunken Ram, one with Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding. So they're all pretty nasty, especially that Brew of Sharpness one. Whoosh. And then after that, that's not over. We've still got some more speed. We've got the Abyssal Horseman with a Blood of the Old King, which is a perfect pairing. Seductress with Gnome Glass Shield, also a perfect pairing. Abyssal Warlock, Banechant 2, just to help out some of those Abyssal Berserkers that only have Crush 1. Zazuzu, who has Banechant 2, Lightning Bolt, and the ability to increase that with the Betrayal ability. And the Manifestation of Bael, which is a mini dragon with Lightning Bolt 7. And that's it. 23 unit strength, 13 drops. But obviously it's the Berserkers that are the popular thing right now.
Yeah, have a look at Ray Shield's list. Another 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of Berserkers along with the formation.
Oh, and that's got 2 regiments of Berserkers, so yeah.
Oh, that gives them nimble, doesn't it?
Oh, they always have nimble. It gives them Thunderous.
Oh, Thunderous, that's right. Yeah.
I think Abyssal Berserkers might be good, guys.
I think I've used them in just the formation, and every time I've used them, they're great and they barely die. I've always worried, defense 4, but the fact that they're just speed 9, they can usually stay safe and then just get in there and grind.
And 5 points for the imp is absolutely worth it.
Yes, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the new models, so they look great. So you don't even feel bad trying to get it. It's just like, yeah, sure, I'll just buy the nicest plastic that Mantic's producing these days and model them up. And yeah, they're large infantry, so they're super easy to paint. I think he would have painted like 12 to get all of this. 13, 15.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So yeah, he's not traveling all this way.
Yeah, no Berserker hero though to give him vicious.
He's very expensive, the Berserker hero that gives vicious. 165 points. But it is good. But
the only thing is you're only crushing 1 on them.
Yeah, it can bounce from defense 6 and defense 5. But there's lots of Banechant in this list, so chances are in any given turn he'll be able to get something to crush in 2. So yeah. And you got Manifestation.
The only worry for that list would be once you start losing units, then there's you're going to struggle with scenario play. It's a bit like that very first list we talked about. Once a lot of the hammers start disappearing and they're def 4, remember, then you need to have a bunch of units just sitting on objectives. Where are they? Flame Bearers, def 3, not really dependable to stay. Yeah.
Gargoyles want to be chaffing Berserkers, and then
You've got
I mean, the
one.
warlock.
Yeah, you've got some large infantry characters that can do it, but they're slow. Remember,
Hmm.
you've got Manifestation of Bale, which can do it, of course, but just one flyer that can score.
Yeah, it will be if you go in, you know, and you have the trade of combat always happening. You know, you lose 2 hordes and a regiment of Abyssal Berserkers. You just have that 1 horde left. Yeah, you'll be a bit down,
Yeah.
and that's if it's going well.
And the berserkers are just not quite fast enough. With the Alohi being able to get into them.
Yeah, I mean, it's as fast as Abyssal lists tend to get because it.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. But
Yeah. No Nagari, to get any of that region up higher. But I mean, yeah, Nagari are definitely a luxury, because they take up a huge amount of space and they're not cheap.
Yeah, I often thought that, well, I assumed, I don't know enough about Abyssals, that the sort of absolute best Abyssal unit Abyssal list that you could put together would be more of the grindy type rather than this. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the Berserker spam.
Yeah, well, apparently in what was it, in Masters, the US Masters, heaps of Berserker spam. There was one with like 9 units of Berserkers or something silly. So, but yeah, this is
I
not
think it's
quite that.
Abyssal Horseman fan. That's my opinion.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I think it's Abyssal Horsemen. They're so good now, they're fearless.
yes, it makes them so much
Yeah,
better.
they are good. Yes, Blood of the Old King on them is very good.
Maybe
I
should
was
do that.
so
Defense
happy.
5
I'll tell you this
Legion.
one story. At Clash, I played Josh Angel, and I got what is it? I got 4 wounds on the Abyssal Horseman, and I rolled a 12. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, right. Well, they're inspiring, so they're inspired. So rolled again, and I did." Oh, he was not happy.
Oh,
This is
That's
that's my one sort of good memory of playing against Abyssals.
yeah, you don't want to be stuck in combat with them.
Yes,
They
that's true.
don't mind grinding really, because that
No,
regen and crushing.
that's right. You don't expect them to go away.
Well, I think that'll be it. There's more lists. There's so many lists. But and that's great because it's such a well-attended event. So we'll be able to watch it, and yeah, maybe we'll have a follow-up to this, or we'll just have another video covering something else. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on and looking at these lists. It's good to have these kinds of videos, especially from the Australian point of view. We don't get as much of that looking at the rest of the world. So I guess we'll probably do the same for this for Clash Australia, whenever if that's in 4th edition or whatever. But we might do that. If you both of you guys will be going for sure, right?
I would hope so.
yeah, planning
Yeah,
to.
Yeah. So
yeah.
that'll be good. All right. Well, otherwise, I I don't know, like and subscribe, but I think the algorithm's broken these days, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, otherwise, let us know if we've completely misjudged your list, or you think that there's something that we've missed. You can put that all in the comments below. Complete conjecture on our part anyway, so tell us we're wrong. It's fine. Otherwise, I'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of this actual beautiful Saturday day. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice day. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. See you guys.
See you
See ya.
later.